you're not like me, so.
Uh, showing the replays.
Alright, mechanics are inconsistent. Um,
Very.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it doesn't really work if that's gonna stay the case. So I mean, obviously, if your mechanics are inconsistent, you try to fix that and you try to make it so that you are no longer inconsistent in that regard. I can't really do anything for you in that regard because all you really do have to do is remember how to land your combos and stuff like that.
Mm,
There's no reason to be inconsistent with it, especially when Brawlhalla combos are specifically are just really easy to land. So if you're going to be inconsistent, that's going to be just another thing hindering you from succeeding, right? And let's just say no world champion is inconsistent in landing their combos,
that is
including
true.
me. Uh, so I asked what your mentality is, and if you got upset, and then you type sometimes I think, sometimes I don't.
But okay, let me elaborate on this. Like, so I like play the game sometimes, and a lot of time I just like lose my mind and I just start swinging. It's very bad. I don't know how to like not get tilted.
I mean, okay. Sometimes I play, and usually you like notice on stream if I'm streaming, and it's like, okay, I'm playing, but I'm not really paying attention to anything, and it's just like blank playing, and it doesn't really
Mm,
matter. Usually I'll still win while this is happening, but it's very very blank, no thought playing, and that's fine. Uh,
is that crazy?
but getting upset with it is like questionable. If you're just like playing blankly and you think that's a problem, I would just get off. I usually do just get off if it gets boring enough. But like, yeah, I don't think there's a problem with just playing blankly. And the thing is, if you are actually like trying to win that day, or like you're playing a tournament or something, and then you start doing that,
Mm.
then it's an entire different problem. But a lot of the time, you can just AFK queue games, and then if you want, you use that to practice like doing random combos, like down like dare on gauntlets or like down like side layer going for reads and stuff, all
Mm.
while just like not paying attention. But if you uh, do that in tournament, you're probably just gonna lose, and you shouldn't do that in tournament. But yeah, getting upset never makes sense. There's no reason to ever be upset to where it affects your gameplay. You can be upset that you lost, but like actually being upset is a different thing. So I'm assuming you've never broken a controller, so you're not really a problem.
Yeah.
There's also getting upset enough to like alt F4, but like that's a different thing again because you're not really tilted. You're just like over it, so you stop playing. You can always work on all that stuff, but I am not your therapist, so I will tell you that being upset doesn't really help you, and that you can
Yeah.
look to work towards fixing that. I never really alt F4 because I'm just too much of a grinder. Can't ever stop the grind when it
Too
comes to
much
me.
of a goat.
All right, so I didn't ask this in the questionnaire I gave you because I don't usually do it. Do you have like any specific weapons that you don't like playing against? I'm asking this because I'll go into it
Um.
more.
Uh. X. I don't know why. I just can't deal with it,
Mm.
and Scythe can mess me up a lot of the time too.
Okay. So I want to put it like this. Uh, every weapon, and for the most part, most weapons have something that they do, and that is like consistent in how people play them. For example, a lot of axe players, even when I'm coaching them or when they're not very good, they like to jump a lot, right? And the
Mm.
thing with axe moves is that when you jump and you have to come down at the ground, and this is obviously they're not playing axe perfectly because if you're playing axe perfectly, it's a different story. But when axe players jump a lot and come down towards you, right? They will throw out something like a Sare, or they'll bait you to dodge and they'll throw out a dare or stuff like that. You should never be getting baited out like that. It doesn't really make sense, right? Everything Axe does from the air coming towards you is easily reactable, just off fear frames and when the move's coming at you. So when an Axe is coming down to dare you, unless you are making mistakes yourself, you should be able to avoid it pretty easily, especially when you're playing something like Core and you just have a way better frame advantage and data for your weapon. Even on the ground, you're gonna notice that it's not too hard for you to approach Axe with Gauntlet, Downlight, or Sidelight, or even Endlight. So Yeah, we're gonna look at these, and I'm gonna try to show you what that looks like. And same thing with Scythe. Scythe is a different thing because it has each easier neutral and less reactable moves, but they're not gonna really get as much value out of them because of the fact that you do dodge in directions that don't fuck you up. And what I mean by that is, you dodge like up and away because at worst they're going to chase towards you and get maybe a recovery or a nair, right? And I promise you that 1600 players aren't doing that regardless. So anything you lose to or get hit by to an overbearing extent will most likely be your fault rather than anyone else's fault, especially since there's so much room to improve between where you are and where you want to be, right? You have to help but think, okay, maybe everything that's going wrong is my fault. There's never a person that is just like playing so good I can't beat them, because at the end of the day they're also plat. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
okay, so where are these games from? Rank. Okay.
Yeah.
Three, two, one, brawl!
Okay. So I watched this entire stock, and for the most part, it's a lot of buttons being pressed, and that's fine because an arm is broken anyway. Like for example, if you did this downlight in the right direction, it probably would have just hit him. The problem is that you do a lot of them in the wrong direction, and no, that's a problem in itself because that means you're actively just putting out moves, and then whether it's left or right doesn't really matter to you, and that doesn't really make sense to do because it takes like one button to turn this around, and the reason is that doesn't make sense is because he was never ever behind you, and he was never ever going to land behind you, right? You can see from the top where he was going down. So you should be aiming every single attack in that direction. That's one time, right? But then it continues to stuff like this where it's just like, okay, now you're in the right direction, but you're not even close to him. You just have to move forward a bit. And this is just happening because you put out moves way too fast, right? This is an easy fix. You just slow down on when you press the button. And I'm not saying that you don't throw out your moves. I'm saying that if you waited one more second to throw this out, you would have moved forward a bit and realized that this isn't going to hit from where you're standing. And that's very important, right? Because now you can tell that you're just putting out moves because you do an end light, and then your first press is just the side light right after it. And then you throw out another move, it's a down light, then you dash again, and then you get caught in the air, and that doesn't really matter. But you can even see it when you pick up weapons too. You just APM 3 moves in a row, and one of them was in the complete wrong direction, and I can already tell that this is going to go on for a bit. There's not too much to explain with it because it's kind of like visibly there for you, right? Like you're seeing that, okay, I'm putting out a lot of moves, and a lot of them are in the wrong direction. What do I do to fix that? I slow down on the moves and I think about what direction is important for them to go in. I look at it again, right? Like this one, you followed him very close, and the problem, and he already dodged too, so like there's nothing for him to go but continue going in that direction. He's even still facing it. You turn out preemptively, assuming that he has some possible way to end up in this direction. Doing a lot of stuff preemptively is not really that good or that useful. It doesn't really make sense, right? Because now you're hitting the air behind you, and he's continuing to walk forward, and you do it again. He still is not past you, but you continue to hit the air behind you, right? And this happened, like right there, like I said, he can't actually dodge behind you anymore. He dodged away from you, then he kept running away from you. You've pushed him to the extent of the stage, so just hit in that direction. There's absolutely no way for him to end up behind you, right? Same thing here. He just dared. He's in recovery frames. There's no way for him to end up here, but you hit in this direction anyway. And that's so easy to fix. You just need 1 second to think about what you're going to do. This is too high to accomplish anything on this GC downlight. This GC downlight won't hit because he is way lower than you on the ground. and it's also very dangerous to do GC downlight against scythes, right? So if you are gonna do GC downlight, because you have to, you usually have to, because that's how you play gauntlets. Gauntlets need to do their 3-hit combos off of a GCD light, and that's fine. But when you do it this high, not only are you going to get punished for missing it, it's just also not going to land. You see how he just walks directly under it, right? So do it at a mid-high length. That way you can actually get your reward for hitting it. Because let's say for some reason that D-light did hit that high. If you do your nair after, you can't get the dare because, once again, you are too high in the air. Because you waste your dodge, you get hit by a lot. And that's just what's going to happen when you waste your dodge. So I'd say was not bad. That dare was bad though, it made no sense. And the GCD light was also very strange. Okay. So at a health like this, it's very important that when you land a hit, even if it's something like this, right? So let's look at this dare. He's in orange. Dare and light is not going to do is not going to even be possible here. So you hit this dare, and he dodges in. You should be looking to punish that dodge. And I've talked about this with TZK a lot, where he hits a move and then he goes for a follow-up, even though it makes no sense to go for it. Or instead you can go for this hit, and then you know there's not going to be a follow-up here, mainly because there's too much force and damage on him already. At white, yes, you do dare and then you do end light. You don't have to go for a read because dare and light is true at white. At this point, it's not true. So you do dare and then you wait. You see what's going to happen. This is one of those times where you let him pass you, then you side light the opposite direction. And that's just it. You are assuming you know what he's going to do way too often instead of seeing what he actually does and then punishing it. Because that's maybe the third time now that you've thought he was going to end. You've hit somewhere that he has no chance of being at just without waiting or seeing it. Okay, there. How much there? And then you just edge guard him probably. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Nice. Okay, so this doesn't make sense because this is how you follow this up. This dare sidelight is beautiful and it's a good punish to his dare that he does, right? If you do this looks like a delayed nair because you were just gonna do nair. I can't imagine to think that you were actually trying to read him here, because if you are trying to read him here, you would actually just reset, and then when he does his dodge, you would punish the dodge. You did the same nair that would catch him if he had no dodge, except you did it super late. You can't tell whether you're trying to punish him having no dodge or you're trying to read the fact that he's going to spot dodge or dodge in, because you have to wait no matter what, and you didn't wait long enough, but you also waited too long to actually hit the combo. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just like the middle ground of how wrong it could possibly be, where you're waiting too long or you're not waiting enough. Okay. Again, too high on the downlight. Just get it into your head that you will never ever need to hit downlight this high above the ground on any weapon. It does literally nothing.
Okay.
Like right there, he actually jumped into the downlight that was super high, right? And then you get the nair like you will, except that even if he bounced off the ground here, you're not going to get a dare, and you probably won't get a recovery because he'll be too low and you'll be too high. There's fine. There's fine again. Right there, you read the dodge, except you didn't react fast enough, and reacting is good. Also, you turn around, which doesn't make sense, and that just moves you further away. After you get this dodge read, and most of the time after you get a hit, what you want to do is position for what you want for what you think is gonna happen next, right? So right here, this is fine. You stand like this, and you go, okay, I'm gonna call out his spot dodge, which is what he did. But then you turn around, which wastes your own time, like you're trying to avoid him, and then you are too far to actually get the thing in. If you are serious about this call out, you do the sunlight, you wait like you're waiting right now. You don't turn around. When this dodge comes out, you move forward, then you move the side light, right? Once again, this downlight is fine. A bit too high. It's always going to be too high the way you're doing it, but if it wasn't this high, it would have never hit in the first place. You're missing your nair, which is just like a misinput. Like you said, your mechanics aren't perfect, but you can perfect them. There's no reason to not get this nair here, especially since you got the downlight. So you just chase forward, get the nair, send him down, and then you're in a perfect position to edge guard him. That there was really bad. This there doesn't carry momentum, so when you jump with it like this, you're just going to start falling, and it's not the best for you. Like gun dare will keep you in the air for a little bit, this one won't. Okay, he killed himself.
He's insane.
Nice. Okay, that was really good and then really interesting. Bad, right? So this nair is good. He has no dodge, but it's not like you can do a lot with this because when does he dodge actually? He recovers there. Oh, he does have dodge. Okay, but it's not like you can do a lot with this anyway. Like I said. So you hit the nair and then you back up because you think he's gonna dodge, but he's in the air after this dodge, so it makes no sense to downlight here. If we're being real, after he dodges in the air like this and he's gonna jump again, you can still wait. You downlight way too fast. Just hold the downlight. And a lot of your stuff so far has just been as simple as, okay, wait an extra second, or just hold for an extra second, or you're either doing stuff too slow or too fast, right? There's a middle ground at where you do things. Right here, after he dodges in like this, he has two options. He can hit the ground and fast fall like towards you, which is a terrible option, right? Because then you downlight him for free. He's not close enough to hit you with anything on an arm, so he's literally just coming into you to get hit, right? Or he can jump. And if you wait to see which one he does, it's a very, very, very easy reaction to hit a nair. Like right now above you, you hit this nair. He has no dodge. You hit the nair, GC downlight, nair again, ground pound or whatever, right? He'll dodge out the ground pound because he'll have his dodge back. But that's like 4 hits that you didn't get because you just assumed he was going to do something. You reacted way too fast, right? And this is basically how my first session with what's his name went, and it's how my first session with a lot of people that are plat go, because a lot of people that are plat or low diamond or just like not very insane like to think that they know everything and everything is just 1 and then 2. You press one button and then a bit later you press the next button, but that's super duper not the case, because a lot of the time the better you get at the game is going to be you press one button, they will press a button, and you will press a button accordingly to their button, right? Because now you found yourself here where he has no options left, and you could have just waited to see what happened and then punished it, but you decide to rush yourself, right? It turns the options you have available to you into just one thing, right? Now you are going to downlight. There's nothing else. You can't do anything else. Whereas you could have waited and then you could have gone, okay, should I downlight or should I nair? And then I could have gotten more out of it, right? And that's how it's going to go a lot of the time if you do not give yourself a second to think. Again, right here, he's disarmed, you Sair, that's fine, the Sair is whatever. You back up, he runs towards you, he downlights, you have all the time in the world, don't backdash because this is probably a minus input, but just don't backdash because backdashing sucks. He downlights you, and you jump over the downlight and then you nair even though you just watched him downlight you on the ground, right? So in a perfect world, you just don't jump here. You go downlight to punish his downlight because you don't backdash. But in this world, this is just a dare because he still can't get out of it. You dare, you endlight. And let's not forget that this entire game so far has taken an entirety of nothing but 2 minutes, which means that the game is going too fast for its own good. There's no way you both are playing good and the game is taking you 2 minutes, ever. It doesn't exist because people have to wait and think about what they're doing. If a game is taking 2 minutes, you guys are probably just not thinking about anything you're doing, and that's just being real. And that's fine because I don't expect you guys to be thinking about a lot of the stuff you're doing. Like I've shown you, you're button mashing really, really hard, and that's never going to be a good idea. Okay, this was not bad. For the most part, on gauntlets, after you hit recovery like this on white, you can just jump nair. That way, when you're chase dodging like this, you don't go too high up. Jump nair is way easier for you to hit. So a lot of the time when you see it on stage, people hit like side light, and you would have burned dodge. They'll go for a recovery, then they'll just jump nair. Chase dodging takes you too high. It takes you higher than the jump, so you can just go for the jump. And right there, it would have been good because you nair him and then you send him back down. You get the wall reset. He doesn't, and then you can go for an edge guard. Should always go for your combo. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So this stock gets a bit messy at the end. Right here, you eat the downlight ground pound, then you hit the nair. We already talked about that downlight and how it went wrong. Same with that dare. And like comes out again, 2 nairs, that's fine. The side light was shaky, but the 2 nairs is fine. Recovery, I just talked about how that goes into nair better if you don't chase dodge it. This was a very good position to be in, and once again, nothing really comes out of it, right? This is, you can't really dare here. So after you see this, I don't recommend jumping first. Once again, like I said, you should really wait to see what people do. Because if you jump first here, before he even dodges, right? You see how much worse off you are. Because let's say you jump kind of okay, and then you can get a dare maybe. You still lost a lot. Because this was just an air, right? If you sidelight him here and then just hold this position, don't jump back up, he dodges in here, then you can jump and catch him with your nair, throw him off stage or back on stage, whichever one. Can't really tell the spacing from it from that angle. But you completely remove a lot of options when you just rush yourself and jump before he's even done anything, right? Side downlight but no sidelight. You chase forward and get the sidelight anyway, which is kind of bad. And you're missing a lot of just like point blank dares. I don't really like going for gauntlet nair just like that because a lot of the time you can hit gauntlet dare. You'll go for you probably can try to go for nair anyway, and you'll see more people that hit gauntlet nair than go for dare because dare doesn't really have that much of follow up, but nair has a lot and puts them in really bad positions. So it's kind of like the reasoning I use on a lot of stuff where I'm like, okay, here you have an option that you can go for, but here you have an option that does way more damage and puts you in a better spot, even though they're relatively close options, right? So you want to be next to him and look for nair. You want to be looking for nair rather than dare a lot of the time. That dare was terrible, by the way. It made no sense, and
Yeah.
it was like whiff, but it's not really worth talking about. It's just like, okay, don't dare nothing. That down sig was weird, to say the least. And then you punish him wasting his dodge, which is, this punish was good. That was actually a perfect punish, I guess. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Could have probably been faster, but other than that, I think it was fine. You stood really far from from the actual edge guard. Let me see. Yeah, you're kind of far from it, but like I said, there's no reason to complain. You got it done. So, yeah. So far in the first game alone, what we're really looking at is that you are putting out way too many moves for your own good, and not to say like, oh, put out less moves, but you're putting them out to a point where you can't even keep track of what's out anymore. And instead of going for reactions or reads based on substantial like thought or knowledge, you just kind of hit them, and then you hit where you think they're going to be, and that's what a read is, right? You think they're going to be there, but usually you build your reads off of something that's happened before or prior knowledge. Your reads are built off of you wanting to hit in that direction for no reason at all. For example, the second side that I pointed out, where you hit him and then you chased him down, he had nowhere else to go, and then you hit behind you rather than hitting him again. And stuff like that is always going to be very questionable. But yeah, alright, second game. And light is nice. That's nice. And light again, good job. Slow on the nair, honestly. So right there, you never want to do this right here. You go for this downlight and that's fine, but you miss. So after you miss this downlight, here's what you do. Considering you have your dodge now on cooldown, you disengage because he didn't punish it fast enough. So now is your time to back up a bit. If he was any better at this game, he doesn't downlight nothing. He walks up to you and then he hits you with all 3 downlights instead of 2. And even still, you take 2 downlights on a sidelight, right? And you really didn't have to, because as you see, he's too far away from the punish. If your downlight didn't hit him, what makes you think a falling nair will, right? Or anything you could do, really. You're way out of range for anything at this point, right?
Could not tell you.
Yeah. I really don't like this move. This move is not that good. It has like, it carries. It literally just lets you keep falling. Like gun dare. Usually if you jump dare on guns, you're not going to keep falling. This move is not the same. This move always lets you fall. So it's not really worth to use it unless they're like stunned right below you. Like let's say he did the sidelight already. If he was an end light or a sidelight here, then yes, you just falling dare on him. But this move is too slow and you can easily move away from it. Like he just did. Falling there. That was a sidelight. Okay. So hammer is weird because this move is broken, and that's fine. But you have way too much space between you two to where you can just go for a side light and nothing will happen. So you should be able to learn where you can input your side lights really easily. And so right here, let's see, as soon as you pick up the weapon, you move towards him with the first nair. That's fine. This down light is terrible. It makes no sense, but that's okay. Second nair, okay, nice. Third nair to juggle, that's good. He's gonna fall now. Comes in with this. You land next to him. You're not gonna get this down light. You have way too much time, but you will get the side light. And even if you don't get the side light, here's what's gonna happen. You won't get the side light because he goes too far to the left too fast. Fine, you pushed him off stage. Now you have stage and map control. You won't get the side light because he jumped. Fine, unless he is like literally perfect and jump airs on reaction, which he won't do because he's plat. Right. You will still be in a better position than him because he would have jumped, and now you have hammer on the ground. You're going to look for more nairs. You're just in a better position than him. This downlight is not awful because I understand why you would go for a downlight here, but it's actually too late. And if and I can point it out because I saw it as soon as you landed. I'm like, okay, this is actually not a downlight. This is a side light. He put this gun dare out here, so by the time he hits the ground, he'll be done with it. You go for side light instead of downlight, but it is hard to see. That side sig was bad. Downlight and sig is strong on this character, but it probably would not have hit here to get this behind him. So just there. But I think it took you too long to react on this. You just couldn't really tell you hit it. But you hit it anyway because he's spot dodged. You should probably just always stomp and sig on this character unless Sarah will kill or send off stage. Nice there.
Okay.
That's a nair again. He can't actually go for that platform with that. This is a nair. This move, I don't know how to explain it because this move is obviously not bad for where you are in your purposes, but this move is actually almost always worse than nair because nair is the most broken move I've ever seen in my entire life. Like right now, right here, falling nair on him hits. I can probably substitute every single side air you've done and gone. Right now, falling nair hits. Okay, so this air, if you didn't sair and you just naired while falling, it would have hit that high. Even if he went past you, the hitbox circles around behind for some reason, right? Because now because let's look at what nair really is, and I tell this to everyone I coach that play hammer. Nair, like let's look at what nair seriously is, right? I'm not even gonna wait for you to throw it out. This is nair, so let's play it forward a little bit. Now, then imagine this was a nair instead of a sair. You're covering like this if this is a nair, and it's hitting him. So there's actually no reason to ever put out a sair because it's just worse, and you actually have to learn how to space it.
Whenever you stomp.
Yeah, you sair when you stomp, and then sometimes you will sair if they're out of options coming towards you. Because here's the worst part about sair on hammer: you can literally react to it every single time and spot dodge it. And the only time that you will get hit by a sair is if you jump and they jump sair at the same time. Or if you walk towards him and he sairs you just because you're like blankly walking towards him. A lot of the time, nair is just way more powerful and way more scary. Right here, falling nair hits him, right? And then you get yourself punished because you go for an end sig instead of disengaging. Oh, he wanted to die and you didn't kill him. Okay, here's a little pro tip for every hammer player out there. If you reverse your recovery, it's this same hitbox with the same lift, except it's on this side now, so he dies. Okay. He has no dodge, so after you hit that recovery, you can pull what I call the Java, and you can just sair like this, and now you have him, no dodge, only recovery, only jump, against this entire wall, right? So that's how strong this position was for you, but you blew it, and that's okay. Now you know what to do for next time. That was interesting. But yeah, right there, you turn the recovery in the right way. Right there, let's see. Whatever. Nice turn recovery, weapon throw. Wow. You have dodge right now. You have dodge back. You have dodge back. Weapon throw. Pick up your weapon. Recovery for no reason. You have dodge. You have dodge. You have dodge. You have dodge. Okay, so don't kill yourself, please.
Okay.
It's really bad because you actually. It wasn't that big of a lead.
Sublime.
It was fine.
Still a lead.
Yeah, a lead is always going to be a lead. Okay, and light is good. See, it's every time with this. You follow them super hard, and it's always right, and then you turn around and hit where they can't be because you just followed them. Like, you stuck to this guy the entire time. You can't even get here, so how will he get there? It doesn't make sense to hit behind you like that, right? So after you chase him like this, in all honesty, you don't. If you have a read like this, you don't need to chase him twice. You can chase him once, and then when he your first chase dodge will end like here, and his dodge will end like here. Then you sidelight right in front of you. But you don't need to push past him just to hit behind yourself, right? You'll never dodge that far, especially if you're dodging that fast. Also, Crag wants you to know you can do down sig because you're stacked. But, I mean, I think that's a terrible idea. And the reason that's a terrible idea is because, let's watch, you hit this. Where are you? Where are we? In front or behind? Okay, this down sig sucks. This down sig sucks because if you down sig here, okay, you hit him. You used your chase and your read and your perfect positioning to get a down sig for like what 20 something damage. If you just follow him like this, jump, aerial dodge, he has a dodge down for 2 seconds. You don't do the second dodge because it's not relevant to you. Double chase dodge is weird. That's like something Phazon does for no reason. Okay, you do one dodge, you let it breathe, he dodges, you sidelight him, he has no dodge, it's an aerial dodge, nair, GC downlight, nair again, ground pound. There, he just did 50 damage.
Amazing.
Oh my god. What was this? I haven't seen this input in so long. What?
I couldn't tell you. Not gonna lie.
Bro. This guy is actually creating like his own inputs. Like, I don't understand. Who is he coaching? Like, what's wrong with you?
Everything. Probably. Amazing.
Dude, I was saving this shit for fucking BCX and you're pulling it out on my stream. Like, I don't understand. This shit is like BCX level techniques. Like, I literally keep this shit in pockets, bring that to Springs. Like, I don't understand.
My bad, bro.
My bad? Like, I can't win BCX now and you're going my bad. Y'all ever seen the zigzag chase dodge? Shit is disgusting. Okay. That was so terrible. Cause you dodged diagonally on gauntlets and there's nothing you can even do with this. That is a wild attack, that's what I'm saying. Teach us how to do that. You think I know the inputs for this? I've been labbing it for 2 months. I don't know the inputs to this. He doesn't know the inputs to this. The Z chase dodge. The guy is he's an animal. Like, actually, no chill player. I'm gonna be on this for 30 minutes trying to figure out what you did here and why you did it. Okay, so this dare, you don't dodge diagonally like this. You just fall down so that when he jumps, Jesus, I'm not gonna get over this. What the fuck is wrong with you? You fall down so that when he dodges, because if you chase dodge, you're just gonna go really far down to the bottom left. When he jumps, you nair him back down because he'll end up like right there when he jumps. I promise you, he ends up there when he jumps. Told you. And you nair there because you just fall straight instead of going too far down, and then you ground pound and then he dies. Right? It's that simple.
Okay. But
instead you decide to bring out the unholy Z dodge and then you recover it in here. Because not only does this dodge not do anything for you here, but it also wastes your dodge. So now, even no matter how cool you think you looked, you have no dodge going back to the stage, and you still have jumps, so there's no reason to recovery right here, because you're going to force yourself all the way up. Craig, stop banning yourself, man. I unbanned you, Craig. Wait, type. I'll just mod you. Yeah. So what you need to do in a situation like this, after you've burnt your dodge, even though you really should not have, is you just like kind of cover, because you have gauntlets there also, right? And your recovery is good priority when this is not in the way. Because right now you're recovering into a wall, and that's not gonna work for you. So what you really want to do is chill for a little bit. All right. Give yourself a second, and then when push comes to shove, you will probably jump like here, because he's just ground pounding anyway. You could just kill this guy because this guy is plat. I'm like looking at it like a real game, but at the end of the day, this guy is actually plat. So if we're being real, you just don't recovery here, because there's no reason to recover this early, being real. So you let this go, you move to the side, he ground pounds, you ground pound him, he dies if he's plat. In a perfect world, he's not plat, but you still have to maneuver around. You have your gauntlets there, so you can move around. Just don't recover this early; it's really bad. No matter what, especially if you have no dodge. Ew, don't do this. Can't hit anything. Don't do that either. There's nothing there. Missing true combo. What are you doing? This weapon does not build damage with dare, so there's no reason to just like go out doing dares. That was an air. I'm telling you, every single time you think you can do Sair, it's a nair, and I'm so serious about it. Okay, so you do nair, and you're falling like this, kind of like this. You fall diagonally towards him doing nair. Nair hits like this. It hits him every single time. If you think you can do Sair, you can most likely do nair. I'm very serious.
Yeah, dude.
Nice. Goat side sig. Goat recovery. Legend. You hit him while he was in frames that could not be hit. I'm just letting you know right now. Don't ever do that. You were slow off there. You're waiting too long. Yeah, you're still waiting too long. I can't tell what you think you're trying to do, but it's quite literally not possible. So you should just go on the map. Right here, you jump off, but you go too low. This isn't jumping off, this is falling off. You fall off the wall, and then when you have to jump back up, he just dares you because you fell off for no reason, right? So from right here, you can just jump straight up. He's not gonna do anything. You kind of kill yourself by falling off. And then death. So, being real, I mean, honestly, anytime you die in plat, you killed yourself, but you quite literally killed yourself twice here, and we see both times. So right here, like I said, this edge guard is actually pretty set up for you pretty well. You just don't need to diagonally chase dodge, doesn't make sense. As my associate said, anytime you are off stage against gauntlets, you can very easily just like 50-50 them into looking for a Sair. Like right here, after this dare, Sair probably would have hit him. Ground pound probably would have hit him. You wait, he goes up, nair sends down, you could have hit him. A lot of things are possible here. Gauntlets are so broken. You can literally do whatever you want off stage. Except you decided that it was time to leak every single thing I've kept to myself, kept near and dear to myself. Hit him with the two-frame right input. Legend. Look at this. Perfectly dodge, 1 frame, 2 frame, back to the left. No one can do this but you and me. Is he coaching blue guys? You wish blue guys could input this. You swear to your life blue guys could input this. Van, you can't input this. Literal legend. That game was a bit better on. Okay, that game was weird because the first game we looked at. The first game was like messy because you push too hard on your reads and you don't react to anything. Instead, you just try to follow up everything on like no basis for no reason, right? But this time you didn't really do that, and it was a bit more consistent. Like when you were actually on stage playing the weapons, it didn't look that bad. Like I'll say this stock when you were daring was bad, and you can do more hammer nairs instead of stairs. Yes, I already mentioned it. But for the most part, a lot of it was not bad. This was a pretty simple edge guard that you cleaned up pretty nice. Alright, nothing wrong with that. Okay? And you hitting him in iframes here is not very ideal, and then dare is not that strong of a move. I wouldn't recommend you just start dares like that. The more you watch gauntlet players play, the less you'll see them do dares, because it's
Less
not actually
dares, more nairs.
yeah, it's not actually that useful of a move.
Okay.
Like that. That's not like gun dare. Gun dare hits here, but this is not gun dare, so there's no reason to input it the same way. That's not how that dare works.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this stock could have been played like more, I guess. You like literally just die as soon as you go off stage. This stock was not bad. You missed some stuff, and like I said, you can look for more nairs. But once again, your games are going really fast. This game was longer than the last game by like 20 seconds, which is fine. Somehow the stocks were shorter, but the game was longer. We're not going to talk about it, but yeah, you can definitely drag these games out a bit more, because I promise you that if you are pushing this hard, I mean this fast, you're probably not thinking, and I like people that think. Okay, you should think more. Ooh, this guy's okay. You're playing against a goat here. You can already tell. Chase forward, down right, because you spot dodged. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be real with you. Just don't jump here, because it's already hard enough for you. If you jump here, you have no dodge, and he's playing a weapon with a built-in anti-air, and which is why this is like probably the core reason you're not gonna jump here. Like, yeah, there are a lot of times you can jump here, but the reason you specifically cannot jump here is because you see he's holding spear, and spear comes with an anti-air. Same reason if he was playing axe, he would run up and axe downlight you, and it's just way riskier. Even though axe downlight isn't like, it's not spear downlight, this is a 30 damage you're gonna get hit with, where on axe is like 15, but it's still like, okay, why get hit with it at all, right? So just go hit the wall. He's too far to edgeguard you, so you just touch the wall here, and then you're back on the map. Your day is over. It's fine. I didn't like that recovery. Fall in there. Look how broken that is. What? You weren't even near him. This is one of those times where you just like walk up to someone and you stare them, but you don't have to here, because Nair is just so broken. You just do Nair. See?
Nair's just better, dude.
Right there, you Nair again, because I don't know what religion you believe in, but it's not one where you can do this while someone is above you and it hits them. There's no prayers for this. There's no hope.
Yeah.
You don't do dare when someone is
I
directly
aimed at the
above you.
floor there.
Yeah. You do dare a lot.
Yeah.
That move doesn't do what you think it does. Jesus. On my screen, you're dead, but you're still alive here, so let's see what can be changed. Okay, miss punish. Like, okay, right there, again, like I mentioned in the first replay, you do the right thing, and then you do it as wrong as you possibly could. You don't do it instantly, so you're not trying to punish him, but you do it way too late. So it's like, where's the middle ground, right? You're supposed to wait, and then when he dodges, because you have this read, then you just recover after the dodge, right? It's the same thing as before, because obviously you know he has dodge, so which is why you didn't recover instantly. If he has no dodge, you recover instantly, right? But you know, so you know to wait. Okay, but why did you wait not long enough? If you're going to wait, then follow through and wait. It's like you chose to wait, and then you were like, I mean, actually, guys, I don't know if I'm trying to wait. I might just go for it, right?
Changed my mind.
Yeah, like you basically changed your mind halfway through. CC down late, kind of high. That one was not high, but it was not going to hit him. He had no dodge there. This was actually, he's dead on my screen here. Let's see. Okay. Side sig. Dodge up. No dodge, no dodge, no dodge. 2 seconds. What are you reading? You're reading a lack of dodge right now, right? You have to look out for that, because you actually got him. He dodges away. You got him. Nair, GC downlight. Then he has dodge back. And if you GC downlight, you can just get the recovery for true anyway. Nice. Goat status. That was a nice GC downlight. A bit high, but he didn't have dodge, so it didn't matter. That GC side sig was bad. It wouldn't have been bad actually if you were closer to him, now that I think about it. If you were above the map. I like that down sig. Easy stare. It's happening too often. You want to GC down like so bad, but you're always like way too high for it to like actually mean anything besides like a downlight recovery. You're not gonna get insane damage off of it, and it's not gonna kill him yet. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you? Stomps there. And like was okay, what the fuck? Okay, and like, what do you? I can't read your mind, so I don't know what you're waiting for. But he does dodge in, so good job. You got the dodge in. If you're reading the dodge in, push to the right, and then when he dodges in, you go to the left with the side light.
I'm in another world.
Otherwise, down sig, I guess. I have no clue what you want to do with that, but I'm worried about you. Stops there. If you were like a lot faster and closer, you could punish a lot of the stuff he's doing. So like right there, the Sarah. If you don't push away because you like can tell this not gonna hit you, right? So right here, just don't run too far. Turn and then downlight him after this Sarah, right? You would have gotten it.
Mm.
Nice endlight, nice. Nair. I don't. That read doesn't exist, by the way. What this? If he dodges like down or to the right, what are you gonna do after you Sarah him?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it is a great question. So don't do that anymore. You just have a Nair there, and then he's dead on your screen because you got the Nair. Nice there. That chase was not bad. Jesus, man. Okay, so I recommend that you never really spot dodge against this weapon. In fact, I would just give up the stage here because this is 20 damage. And then this is 20 damage, and then this is 20 damage, and then that's 20 damage, and now you're off stage. Giving up map is not bad, but definitely don't try to force your way back in when you have no dodge, especially on a weapon like gauntlets where the side light is low priority, the end light is in far range, and the only down light is the one where it's going to be scary.
Okay.
You're dead. He's dead. People literally let you win games, it looks like.
Just shake hands.
Not bad. Nice. Turn around and stop, or just end light. You guys are so slow. It's like, press your buttons. I don't understand. Side light. Jesus. Downlight, side light. Oh my god.
It's horrid.
You guys are so awkward. It's like the keys are hard for you guys to press. Sarah nothing. I'll be real with you. Just don't ever like Sarah unless you like they have nothing or have to come towards you. Okay, what the fuck. Alright, so I want to look at this entire stock again because it was just so disgusting. Maybe he was tilted from killing himself, or maybe you were tilted because he killed himself. Side light, and then end light is bad. Fine. Nair is fine, okay? You should recovery towards him if you're planning to do that, but he had a dodge anyway. This dare is terrible. There's nothing for it to hit. Let it go. Okay, you're both fine now. You both Sarah nothing, but he gets a bit lucky with it. Misses the follow-up. You don't turn around for the punish because you do it too fast. Give yourself one more time, more time to think. Honestly, you should be thinking about it as he Sarahs past you, right? But that's okay. The thing is, after you do that, you end light in the wrong direction again. So there's too much that comes out in the wrong direction. It's too often. Punishes you with Sarah. Then you decide that dodging is not worth it. So you stand there and then you eat the end light. And the end 6. Okay, fine. Beautiful side light. Chase forward. Get the beautiful down light. Why do you not follow it up again? You have a side light here for free. But instead you jump. Like there was some
I'm in
like
another
secret
world,
tech.
man. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. He dodges in here. Hits you. You spot dodge. He dodges in. You swing at nothing because he's higher than you. You could have fallen there probably, but honestly, it's just like, don't even do it. Just walk away from it at that point. You wasted your dodge on the ground. And then, as I've said before, when you waste your dodge against weapons with anti-airs or characters with anti-airs, you want to disengage completely. You get Sared, and you jump into an anti-air that sends down. That doesn't kill him. That's patch that kills. I'm just letting you know now. You're lucky we're on this patch, because last patch you were dead on my screen.
Yeah.
Incisive. Okay. So let's look at this like in a realistic way, okay? You are bad, right?
Mhm.
And that's fine. It's okay to be bad. I know a lot of bad people. But the reasons you are bad are very, 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 very easy to fix reasons for being bad. Such as, like, let's like, be super real here. You did this like 50 times in every game. So it doesn't, like, yo, aim it this way, right? And it's like super straightforward, right? That's like an easy thing to say, like, okay, why is this, the question is, why is this happening too often, right? Why am I facing the wrong direction too often? Why do I know they're going to dodge left into me, right? And then I don't do anything with it, right? Because what can you do here? You can't sidelight. If you know he's going to dodge like this, then you have to push forward. I pushed too far. Then you have to push forward, right? Wait, this bot is crazy because he's in the air, right?
Bot's correct.
Yeah. Like, you can't just have it be like, okay, I know what he's gonna do, and then I'm not gonna do anything with it. There's punishes everywhere. You just have to figure them out, right? Same thing with stuff in the air, right? Like, you know where he's gonna be, so you have to punish it accordingly. You can't just go half with the punish, right? And that's happening too often, because I'll see you do this, and then you'll literally know what you want, and then you'll do it. You'll input like that. You'll just like go for it immediately. There's no reason to rush yourself like that. Give yourself a second to look at the screen, and you'll get all of that damage for free every single time. I promise. Because otherwise, it's not even that bad. You're misspacing things and you're rushing your follow-ups, but a lot of the time, it's nothing wrong, right? You're not playing any worse than the people you're playing against, so there's no reason to lose if you are hitting your moves. A lot of the times, all three of those games I watched could have easily been saved by you actually looking at the direction you want to throw out your move and then throwing it out correctly, rather than rushing and not knowing what you want to do with it, right? You use SIGs, which is fine. I like SIGs, and SIGs are no problem. On Hammer, like I said, you could look for more nairs instead of Sairs, because there's nothing really to do with Sair. And then this is broken as fuck, apparently. And there's just a lot you can do. Your stomps are fine. You dare way too much. And the thing is, it's like not even like, oh, fucking chase dodge towards them, dare, miss, and then punish with dare. You just kind of push towards them, and then you're just like, I'm gonna dare, I'm gonna dare, I'm gonna dare, right? It doesn't really make sense. So look for less dares, look for more falling dares, so you can get your free 20 damage, and that's unpunishable. And then I like how you push forward on every dodge to punish it, because that's always going to be a good thing, right? The thing is, when you push forward, you need to do what is correct. Obviously, okay, this guy's going to dodge right, I have gauntlets, I'm going to hit him with endlight, and then I'm going to push forward. If I push forward twice, I'm not doing anything. Right, if you push forward twice, you might as well just get ready to endlight again, because there's nothing you're gonna do. You can't even endlight again, right? So push forward once, or don't even push forward, because you don't have to dash. And if I was playing sword, he dies there because gauntlets are cancelled. But yeah, right. It's really just like that. You have the reads, and I'm not mad that you're pushing forward like this, but it's really hard to do that and then actually hit anything, because you pushing forward like that puts you past him or stacked with him. This is the only thing you can do when you do something like this. You just have to sig him, because you are too far for any of your light attacks to really connect, right?
Yeah.
Right there, once again, you saw the down light there comes out. He dodges to the right, and if I really do push with on the ground with chase dodges, there's nothing for me to do. Whereas if I dash towards him, you see me get the side light. A lot of that is like misinterpreted, as in, if we watch like a tournament, you're going to get a lot of clips where you see people chase dodging, right? And that's for really hard reads. For example, if like you know a player is going to move before they dodge. For example, when I used to watch LDZ play, he would land an attack, and then he would chase dodge because he knew you weren't going to dodge. He chase dodges twice, you jump and then dodge after. That's because people like to input something before the movement, before they dodge. They like to jump out of something and then they dodge. People don't like dodging instantly. Phazon is a player that I know that doesn't like instantly dodge every single time. He likes to think about what's going to happen next and then he dodges, right? And that's fine, okay? You adapt to what people are doing. But I'm telling you that a lot of the people that you are playing against aren't doing that. They're not delaying their dodge. They're dodging instantly, which means you literally don't have to chase them. You just punish the dodge. It's like, imagine playing the game before chase dodge was out. For example,
Wild.
this is a dare. Before chase dodge, you literally just side lighted. There was no need to chase dodge close to them because you literally don't have to. Same with end light. You just move forward. You down light. You still got the dodge. Everything still worked out, right? So if you have this read, why are you chase dodging for? Right? What is the chase dodge adding on to this read? You get what I'm saying?
Doesn't do anything.
It literally does. It makes it harder to get the read because now I have to even go past him, right?
Makes it harder.
Yeah. So a lot of the times after you get a read like this, like that's when you need to chase dodge. I had to chase dodge there because I'm in the air, and I got that disgusting 7 hit for it because I'm just a clean player. I'm disgusting.
Just the goat.
Right there, there's nothing else, right? I hit him with the dare. There's no need to chase dodge. I know he's coming past me. It's that simple, right? So think about when you actually need to chase dodge. It's important to look at it and go, okay, here, I actually do need to chase dodge to get the value out of this attack, right? A lot of the times you don't. You can just wait and carry yourself with movement towards him. That's it. And that's true for a lot of weapons. I know and sometimes instead of chase dodging, you'll dash, like on spear. But on your weapons, you actually don't need to chase dodge till later HPs. And even at later HPs, when you chase dodge, it's just to keep pressure on the person. For example, I'll switch him to gauntlets here. And let's say he's at later HP. We're no longer looking at you end light him and then you are able to continue on just like chase dodge. I mean, just continue moving with him, right? Now you have to chase dodge to get towards him. So you'll do something like this and then you'll go for that Sarah, right? That's different, right? It's not the same thing. And then you can even mix up your chase dodges with chase dodge diagonally up and then forward, chase dodge up and then forward. A bunch of stuff you can do, right? And even then you'll still like think about it usually, right? Like that. It's super simple. You never want to just like run at them with your chase dodge because you don't really control when you end up all the time. You can control your first one because you can cancel your first one instantly, right? As right there. You can also cancel it later into, oops, I misinputted it. You can cancel it later. Like that, so you can have a way longer dodge. That's like the entire half stage compared to a 1.5 stage, right? And then you can, but the thing is, the second one will always go all the way. So it doesn't make sense to force it. You let it go, and then you do one, and now you've jump Sarah'd him. And that's a lot of what you're gonna see. Even in tournament, I find myself, I hit it, I land a hit. If I do chase dodge, it's a chase dodge once, and I don't even chase dodge that much because it's weird. And that's the thing. That's just how it is. You don't need to chase dodge on every hit. Look at what you want from the hit, and then boom, now you have it. When I was coaching TZK, he played a lot of bow, and he had no clue what was going to happen after he landed a move, but he pretended he did, so he would do a side light, and then he'd Sarah, even though the guy couldn't possibly get hit by it. And the problem with doing stuff instantly, like I already said, is that it comes to a point where even if you are right, doing stuff instantly will literally lead to you doing stuff too fast, right? And for example, I'm pretty sure this still is the case with this. If you see, I know he's gonna dodge up, but because I did it instantly, I'm missing, right? Let him dodge and then punish it. There's no reason to go instantly, right? That hit because it's true. He couldn't dodge that, right? If you do it, if you're going for a read and you do it instantly, it's not gonna work. You give them time to actually dodge and then you go for it. See the dodge come out, then go for your read. If you do it instantly, it's going to miss. It just is going to miss every single time because you're doing it too fast. Same thing with this. You see it come out, then you go. If you do it like this, he's going to dodge through it every single time, every single weapon, right? So yeah, this is basically the problem with a lot of flat players. It happens for like a long time, and eventually you will get better at it. And then just like TZK, after his like first session, we started focusing less on follow-ups and what he's missing, and you start following on you start looking more on stuff like, okay, what am I actually doing wrong in neutral? Why am I missing these attack, right? When do I go in? When do I not go in? Because right now, that is your problem is that you hit something and then you chase 2 screens past him, trying to get a read that doesn't exist, where it's not possible. When you fix that, then you go on to the next thing. The next thing will probably be, okay, how do I actually land these attacks? How do I get these reads started? Because now you know how to get your reads and how much you have to put in to get your reads. It's not 10 dodges. You can actually just walk up to them and get your read. So what's next? Next is how do I actually land these moves, right? Because right there, I got that. But imagine if I did this. Oops. Imagine if I did this too fast, right? Gauntlets are broken, so it usually will still work because the hitbox lasts too long. But even then, it's risky, like right there. But if you wait for them, then it's a completely different story. Boom. Wait, get them there. It's like 10 times easier to wait for stuff to happen before you go in. Waiting is just like, it's just better because you also just get footing. You just know, right? This is when you missed a lot in the replays where you knew he was gonna dodge up or where he was gonna be, and instead of waiting the perfect amount, you waited too long. Right? If he has no dodge, obviously I'm just gonna recover. He has no dodge, he can't get out of it regardless. But if he has dodge, you wait till it's finished, and then you go in. Stop rushing yourself. It's that simple. Okay? Especially for the weapons you play, you'll see that when you get hit on gauntlets, it's really, really nice when you can react to stuff, or when you just know what they're going to do. That way you can get the most damage out of your weapon, because otherwise you're hitting very low damage hits. But the value in getting a read is just really high, so it's a nice weapon to play. Hammer is a bit different because you don't have to chase in all the time, and when you do, you can usually find some stuff, but even there, you should be careful with it. Yeah, your hammer was not actually as bad as your gauntlets because you're missing a lot of stuff on gauntlets that's required for damage, but on hammer, you're getting the damage that you need, so it's fine. What else? Yeah, for the most part, it's okay. Like I said, work on missing stuff like this, because like I said, you'll end up doing like this, and then you'll throw out 10 moves, and then you'll slightly be off on one move that was going to hit. Stop throwing out so many moves and think more about the moves that you're going to do. Like this, for example. If I'm this close to him, I'm just going to space out, turn around, move it, do a down light, maybe move, do a side light, right? You don't want to do a side light, then do a nair, then do another sair, and then do a down light, and then you're missing 4 moves for every 5 you put out. That's so weird. And the higher you get at this game, the more you'll get punished for missing moves like that. So you'll have to stop doing 10 moves per attack and actually think about them. Another thing, like I said, to get this downlight that you are going for, he has to literally be jumping into it, because this is like, that's being generous with how high you're downlighting. You're downlighting like literally like this, and that is super high. In red, it's like, okay, because if he's in red, like let's say fucking 170, you're going to hit this and then he's going to die because you have a true combo in red. In white, you're going to hit this and then you're going to do your 8 damage nair, and then you're not going to do anything else because you're too high off the ground to reset your dare. So you don't need to be doing this high. It doesn't really get you anything till later. But let's say you're on the ground and he's not jumping. Different story. You hit your downlight there, like this. Boom, 3 hit. Alright, it's really easy stuff. If you're a goat like me, you input that. But you never input that, because it's really hard. I can't even do it. But yeah. And Core is the only character you're playing right now?
Yeah, at the moment.
Okay, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, what do I just thought of, what do I do against Bo? Because that is a really bad matchup for me.
Okay, so Bo, for the most part, it has kill confirm, so it will kill you eventually if you take too much damage, right? But the moves that kill you require you to be spaced out really far, like downlight into recovery. So if you are in red and you hold really close to Bo's body, all the moves that can kill you won't kill you. For example, nair will kill you very, very late if you are really damaged, right? So you're trading off, okay, getting hit by nair for a chance to hit them, and you won't die from the nair, right? Does that make sense? Whereas if you try to space them out, they're gonna downlight recover you. So when you're playing against a Bow player in red, you actively want to be closer to them rather than space them out. And you also shouldn't jump, because the closer you are to the ceiling, the earlier nair kills, obviously. And that's just how you don't. That's how you don't die against bow. That's a tip for just not dying, right? They can obviously switch weapons. If you want to not take damage against bow, it's a lot harder and a lot more complicated because bow plays off Sair and Dare. Your best angle against bow is going to be an angle that not a lot of weapons play. Some do, but not a lot of them. And that angle is going to be directly under it, right? Gauntlets don't really. Gauntlets do have some gain from being directly under you, but it's not a lot because it requires you to dodge still. Like, for example, if you're directly under someone as gauntlets, you can nair them, but if they have their dodge, they're just going to move after. So it's kind of hard to play. But yeah, also when Dare is like still super good, but also super punishable. So if someone dares, you can try to go in for that and punish it. GC downlight is dangerous, but it's not terrible. And yeah, I don't think you should try to be above them because your aerial moves from above are bad, and bow has bow nair. So and like
Just beats it up.
yeah, it's a very big like mix up of when to go in and when to pull out. So like on gauntlets, you know, you need to understand when you should push forward to them with sidelight before they can actually get out of the ground and try to go for like nairs and stuff. Sidelight on the ground is going to lose to gauntlet downlight, especially if you GC gauntlet downlight. But downlight on the ground is going to space out your moves if you're trying to stand still, which you really shouldn't try to stand still on gauntlets. Yeah, it's definitely a complicated matchup on both the weapons. Hammer into bow is just not worth playing, to be honest with you. It's really hard. Even if I explain it to you, it'd be really hard for you to actually do it. So you should be more worried about gauntlets into bow, which is also hard. Bow is just really good into both your weapons, to be honest with you, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
For example, when I play sword into bow, you just kind of try to go under it and you try to look for recovery and you look for nair, but a lot of the time gauntlets aren't really doing that, and I don't really main gauntlets like that, so I would recommend you think very hard. But yeah, the killing thing is true. When you are in red and they are very far, right? I mean, when you're in red and you stand very far away from them, you're going to get downlight recovered, and that's when you will die. But if you stay close, nair is not going to kill you early, Sair is not going to kill you early off stage, blah blah blah. Ground pound off stage only. Like, you can't really die from the middle of the map staying stacked on bow till very late health, or unless you're playing against Koji, in which case just disconnect from the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, gauntlets are definitely a hard matchup, but I understand why you would complain about them. I don't think it's easy to play either. But when I play bow, I think gauntlets are pretty easy to deal with.
Okay.
Alright, this replay will come to you